Hello, my name is Beth Dixon, and this is part 4 of a video series based on Vicki Borlaug's PowerPoint presentation on the standard normal table. At Walter State, we are using a standard z-table that gives the area to the left. If you're using a different type of table, you do not need to watch this video. Before beginning this video, you will need to have access to a standard normal table that gives the area to the left. I wish to thank Mrs. Borlaug for allowing me to use her PowerPoint to make this set of videos. And we're on to topic number 3, which is given a probability, find the z-score. In topic number 3, we are working backwards. In this case, we're going to be given the area or probability and asked to find the z-score. In example number 9, it says, find the standard normal z-value that has 87.08% of the data values to the left. In some situations, we are given the probability, area, or percent to the setup. Remember that the area or probability and percent are all the same. In this example, we are asked to find 87.0% of the data that is to the left. Remember that as we look at our curves, that the center marks the mean, and 50% of the data under the curve is to the left and 50% of the data is to the right. Our problem wants us to shade 87.08% of the area to the left. What would be the appropriate shading for this example? Remember that more than 50% needs to be shaded. Well, since more than 50% needs to be shaded, that would be more than half. Do you see 2 that can be marked off? Let's mark off the 2 that are automatically less than half. That leaves us 2 to look at. Of these 2, which shades 87% to the left? That leaves us this one for the answer and the other one as one of the wrong answers. Notice how this works backwards from other problems. We search inside the table to find the area and to read the value from the edge of the table. In other words, we already know that the area is 0.8708. Notice that Ms. Borlaug went on and moved your decimal over for you 2 places to change the percent to a decimal. The most important skill you need to possess in statistics is your reading skill. Read the question carefully. What is the question asking you to find? It's asking you to find the z-value. The z-value will be on the edge of your table. So start in the center to find your answer that you were given, the 0.8708. And then our answer for the problem will be at the left and top. So find 0.8708 in your table, and then 1.1 and the 0.03 will be at the left and top of your chart. That will then give us a z of equaling 1.13. Here are 2 problems for you to try. We have another example. Find the standard normal z-value that has 75% of the data to the left. What would be the appropriate shading for this example? Remember that more than 50% Remember that more than 50% needs to be shaded. Again, let's mark off the 2 that's less than 50%. And again, we need to shade to the left so we have our appropriate graph. Draw your graph. That's the area to the left. We're looking for the Z table. We want to find 0.75 in the chart. In the table, 0.75 is not on the chart and would fall between two values, 0.7486 and 0.717. We want to be the closest. This is not The Price is Right. We're not trying to get the closest without going over. We just want to be as close as we can without worrying about whether we're over or under the answer. Some students can do this naturally, others need to do the subtraction to figure that out. So we'll do the subtraction to see which is closer to the 0.75 and use the closest value as our estimate to our answer. So simply subtract 0.7486 minus 0.75. That gives us negative 0.0014, and 0.7517 minus 0.75, and that gives us 0.0017. We're looking for the smallest absolute value of the differences. To be the closest, I would rather be 14 under than 17 over, which is closer to the 75, is the 0.7486. So 0.748, and that should be a 6 here, is closer, so we'll use that as an estimate. So looking up 0.7486 gives us a Z value of 0.67, and that is our answer. Here is a student activity for you to try. Let's do another example. Find the standard normal Z value that has 85% of the data values to the right. Which one will be our answer? Remember that more than 50% needs to be shaded. So, why is this one the answer? Well, mark off the 2 that's less, and remember this time we need to shade to the right. And because we're shading to the right, we'll need to flip it from what our answer has been before. In this case, let's graph that, and that's the 0.85. But remember, this is the area to the right. Our table looks up the area to the left. So before we go to our table, we will need to find this area to the left. Remember that the total area is 1, so 1 minus 0.85 leaves us 0.15 and gives us that area to the left. So in the chart, we'll be looking up the area to the left. In the table, 0.15 is between 0.1492 and 0.1515. We'll subtract to see which is closer to the 0.15 and use the closest value to estimate our answer. 0.1492 minus 0.15 equals negative 0.0008. 0.1515 minus 0.15 equals 0.0015. And again, we're looking for the closest value, whether it overestimates or underestimates. And the smallest absolute value of the differences is the negative 0.0008, which means we want to use the 0.1492 as our estimate. So using that as our estimate gives us a negative 1.0 and then in the 0.04 as our column, and gives us a z-score of negative 1.04. Here are the last two activities for you to try. And the end of this video set. Thank you for watching.